Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day, and we certainly are. And we're looking forward to our little session together today, guys. And let's say hello to a dear friends, Michael from Norland, Andrea from Niagara Falls, and let's see if Brahim. Brahim didn't make it. There you are, Brahim. You're number 4. You didn't make the Trinity this morning. Janice, how are you? Madeleine, while I was talking, I missed somebody. Nativity, good morning. Sandy, how are you from Chilliwack, British Columbia? Brahim hit the button late. Fran, Orangeville, good morning, Fran. Nick from Arsta. And Jeanette, how are you? Beverly, Nouveau Brunswick. And 2 Jeanettes. Kevin, how are you? Wendy, Markham. And Jeanette, bonjour. And Norma from Texas. Marl, Ottawa. And West Virginia, who was that? Donna, Park Hill. And another Donna from Newfoundland. Brahim is saying it's 80 degrees. Yeah, we've had great weather. And Janet from Louisiana. Jeanette from Kapuskasing. Diane Thunder Bay. Rose from Peterborough. Veronica, good morning. And Jeanette. Did I already say hello to you? Rachel, how are you? Barbara, Kansas. And Denise, Chatham. And Saskatchewan. Come on, it went up into the clouds. I couldn't see it. Joanne. And April, Oshawa. Rosalinda from the Kidneys of Canada. Sharon said I missed her. Maureen, Penticton, British Columbia. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. Dave, how are you? See, it goes up. I can't see it. I can see the bottom part, Burlington. I'm going to say that's Gertie. Jeanette, how are you? Thea, I see the bottom, but not always the top name. Susan, Nicole, right from Sudbury. Joan, good morning. And West Tennessee, Luella, I'm guessing, I can't see it. Anne, how are you from St. Catharines? And Diane, how are you? Arnella, how are you? Shelley Baxter. And Herma from Burlington. And Windsor. See, I can't, it goes up. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what to do to fix it. If I could get off this stars enabled, there's a bottom here that sort of takes up some space. Anywho, okay, we're back to vitamin D, guys. Part 2. And yesterday, we talked about, wow, the importance of vitamin D and several new studies. One on the metabolism, vitamin D for blood glucose and metabolism. We talked about even for your skin, vitamin D, the sun is so good, and for your collagen synthesis, and it helps you to produce even more hyaluronic acid for your skin and your joints. And then we talked about the blood-gut barrier, that it, according to this study, tightens the zipper. I like that. It tightens the zipper between your gut and your blood. That is very, very, very important. Okay, so we went into some detail about that yesterday, and today I want to bring you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more studies on vitamin D. Okay? So we talked about 3 of them yesterday. Today we're going to do another 4. And they're all, you know, I started off yesterday by talking about vitamin C, because that, when I was in school in the 70s, vitamin C was the biggest star on the hit parade. It really was. I mean, because Linus Pauling had come out and he actually won a Nobel Prize in medicine for his work on vitamin C. And I remember we studied vitamin C. And I always liked vitamin C, but we at the Martin Clinic have even a more important vitamin C, and that's coffee. And I mean that, okay? But what I said, I used to say this on my radio show all the time. Vitamin C, Linus Pauling missed out by 1 letter in the alphabet because he didn't talk about vitamin D. And when you want to compare it, there's no comparison between ascorbic acid, good for you and you need it, and vitamin D. Vitamin D, the more they study, the more they realize, holy moly, the sun. And when you can't get the sun, you need to supplement with vitamin D. And medicine is terrified of vitamin D. Boy, I'll tell you, when you say a lie long enough, man, it gets into the craw of the narrative, doesn't it? Like vitamin D, because it's fat soluble, okay? It's a fat soluble vitamin. Oh, you can get too much vitamin D. They've done the studies on that. Okay? Here's what it would take to get too much vitamin D. Okay? I remember the Vitamin D Council 20 years ago, at least, did these studies. You would have to take 50,000 IUs. Not 50 IUs, 50,000 IUs every day for 6 months to become toxic with vitamin D. And you know what happens? You might develop kidney stones. Guys, it's such a red herring. But it got into medicine. And what happened, because it became part of a narrative in medicine, in medical school, they learn nothing about vitamins except that you don't need them. And 2, you can become toxic with them. So they scared the living life out of physicians. Vitamin A, it's fat soluble. You gotta be careful with vitamin A. Vitamin D, people are going to die if you take vitamin D. 1,000 IUs. Well, that's for a mouse, okay? 1,000 remember, 20 minutes in the sun, you get 10,000 IUs. 20 minutes. So when someone tells me they take 10,000 IUs a day, okay. Well, it's like getting 20 minutes of the sun when you don't have the sun. Okay? Every study on vitamin D is positive. And remember, nobody's making any money. It's not like there's money to do the research. These they're doing it because they're interested in the results of vitamin D. There's no money in it. There's no company that's sponsoring. There's no pharma company sponsoring vitamin D research. It's all done voluntarily. And I remember just even donating to funding research on vitamin D. Okay, years ago. Now, let's get back to what it does. These are new studies, and the fourth study I want to bring to you is what vitamin D does for your mitochondria. Okay? Your mitochondria, your battery packs. Your cells have battery packs. Where do you have the most mitochondria? What cells have the most mitochondria in your body? Your brain, your heart. Listen to the studies. This study on vitamin D. Vitamin D makes mitochondria produce more, what? What do mitochondria produce? Energy. In the form of, remember this from chemistry? ATP. In the form of ATP. Cellular biology. You got mitochondria. You got battery packs. And they're showing that vitamin D, either in a supplement or from the sun, I prefer the sun, guys. I mean it. Okay? I prefer the sun. But vitamin D helps the mitochondria produce more energy, ATP. When do you feel better? Oh, the sun's out. I feel better. That's universal, guys. That's universal. Okay? Isn't that interesting? It makes your mitochondria produce more ATP. What will that do? More energy, more cellular reproduction. You're always regenerating your cells. And the more your mitochondria are producing energy, the better reproduction of new cells that you'll get. Your body will regenerate. That's the importance of vitamin D. It helps the mitochondria. Okay? Now, this is an interesting one. I think you're going to find this interesting. I think I saw this one time, but this is a long time ago. And do you know that vitamin D, okay, and sunlight, and vitamin D interact with water inside your body? You know what it does? It charges up your water in your body. It hydrates you. You know, is there anything that vitamin D doesn't do? It helps your water get into your cells. Vitamin D. Did you know that? I didn't. I think I read it once and I forgot it. Like, vitamin D is so good for you. Okay? It's so good for you. It even interacts with water to hydrate us. I love it. Man, oh man. Now here's something we know and we've known, a new study on melatonin. Again, I always say if melatonin works for you in terms of a supplement, go for it. Here's Dr. Martin's experience of probably over 40 years of using melatonin, or patients using melatonin. It works for a while and then it don't work anymore. I'm a big believer in melatonin. but your body produces melatonin. Your third eye, your pineal gland, is one of the biggest areas of reproduction of melatonin. Okay? And I've always believed in melatonin, but just not so much as a supplement. You're better off to get in the sun and even let your eyes see the sunlight. Just by doing that, you'll produce melatonin. And that's what this study is confirming. A new study on increasing levels of melatonin with sunlight. And that one there, you don't get with taking vitamin D as a supplement. Okay? Vitamin D as a supplement will not increase your melatonin, but the sun will, even in the winter. Okay? That's why I rarely ever put sunglasses on. I just don't. My eyes are used to not having sunglasses. I mean, it's not that I never wear them, but I rarely wear them. I want the sun. I want my eyeballs to get the sun because I'm producing melatonin. And then I've taught you this before. If you want melatonin to be produced at night, you need dark, completely dark. That's why the only mask I want you to wear is not the one we were all wearing in COVID. I want you to put a mask around your eyes, not around your mouth. Because a mask around your mouth doesn't work. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You can put a mask around your nose, it doesn't work. It can't stop a virus. I'm sorry, that's just facts. And people, they wanted to kill me during the COVID crisis because I said that. I said, well, put on an invisible mask. You're much better to up your levels of vitamin A by taking vitamin A and eating steak to get it. You want vitamin A? It's only found in the animal kingdom. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Vitamin A protects your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, where viruses come in. You couldn't see a virus if your life depended on it. Okay? You just can't. That's how small it is. So it's better to wear your invisible mask. But when it comes to melatonin, wear a mask over your eyes at night. Pitch black. It's the only time you make melatonin at night. When it's pitch black. No light. And your body produces melatonin. During the day, sunlight. Okay? Got the memo? Good. Now, here's a new one. It's not new under the sun because we already knew this. But again, guess what? It's flu season. Well, it won't be flu anymore. I think the flu has disappeared. We won't use the word anymore. We're going to use the word COVID. Okay? I think that's what the world is doing. And we don't call it the flu anymore. But for the sake of this program, let's say the flu season. We all know that. Every year in the fall. People's levels of vitamin D drop. Okay? They drop. And so it's important to top up your vitamin D. This is the time of the year. Now we had in Northern Ontario here, all of September. My word, I never seen weather like it. Climate change. But really, it was so beautiful. And the sun every day just about, okay, where we are at least. And I took advantage of it. I topped up my vitamin D levels every day and I topped up my melatonin. The sun. Okay. But believe you me, where I live, fall is a-coming. Okay? I know it's fall already, but the weather part of fall is coming to a theater near you. Okay? If you live, it's fall. And vitamin D levels drop. That's just a fact. And that's why, nobody puts it together. But if the flu season starts about now, and especially in the dark months, December, there's 3 dark months. December, January, and February. They're the worst as far as statistically what happens for the flu. Way up. December, January, February. And I'm not saying nobody, but modern medicine, hello? If the flu season correlates with low levels of sunlight comparatively, hello? 2 + 2 = 4. But they've never associated vitamin D with your immune system. And a new study out confirms what we've been saying on this program for eons of time. And that is your T cells, your Navy SEALs, those white blood cells who are your first responders, they don't work properly without high levels of vitamin D. They're a human. Your cells are solar panels. They need vitamin D to activate them properly. It's like having an electric vehicle and you better charge it. And you need to recharge it. Okay? Now, I took out a spoon. I want to show you something. And guys, this is what I do. And I can't tell you what to do. I can educate you, but I can't tell you as an individual what to do. But I've often told people, do the vitamin D hammer. Because vitamin D hammer, if you, at the first sign of a cold, or you got a real bug coming around, a virus, and you don't feel well, if you can get started, take out the oil of oregano. I mean it. And overdose on oil of oregano. Nah, you can't. But you know what I mean? Get at it. And I'm a vitamin D guy. So I take out the vitamin D, okay? And I take a dropper full, okay? See that? Put it in a little spoon. And there you've got like a full dropper, okay? Full dropper would be about 20,000 IUs. You got a cold? Do the hammer. 20 to 50,000 IUs a day for 3 days. I like it. I've seen it work. You're not going to overdose. A colleague of mine, I remember he did a study actually with this, and he did 50,000. These were people with a bacterial pneumonia. And he did a study, published it, on giving 50,000 IUs a day for 7 days. And the results were incredible. with a bacterial pneumonia. And I can't remember what hospital it was in Toronto, but it was a colleague of mine. And Dr. Rona, some of you might have heard that name. But he's just a big believer in vitamin D and hammering. When you got a real bug, you feel the bug coming. I love that. I love that. And I often tell people, do the hammer. In my office, I used to tell them, do the hammer. What? Do the hammer. Your T cells will thank you. Incredible. And it's the natural flu shot. Okay? Now, what is our bet this year? We're even going to hear the word flu. I haven't heard it. Okay, yet. I don't think there's any more flu anymore. It's going to be called something else. Okay, I think. Okay, I could be wrong. People won't say, well, I got the flu. No, I got COVID. Okay, whatever you want to call it, don't matter. Don't matter to me. Okay? All I know is what I want, what I'm going to do about it. So those are the vitamin D studies. Was that 7? I think so. Okay? Vitamin D wins. Your gut? Wow. It helps to knit the gut. It helps to, it helps tighten the zipper. Man, holy moly, you know how important that is for your health? It increases the production of your mitochondria. Do you know how important that is? It activates your water. What? It activates water, helping to hydrate you even more. It activates your T cells. Holy moly. It activates your collagen in your skin and hyaluronic acid, skin and joints, collagen, your matrix. It's so important. Vitamin D activates all that. Wow. It helps your metabolism and decreases insulin resistance. Holy smokes. Yeah. Vitamin D for the win. Vitamin D for the win. Sun, steak, and steel. You know that this book is still available? Sun, steak, and steel, and sleep. Okay, guys. We love you dearly and sincerely. I will talk to you soon.